Welcome back to the deep dive. Something we all deal with constantly, really, is our emotional world.
Absolutely. It's how we manage ourselves, how we read others.
Right. It's about being smart with our emotions,
Hmm.
not just burying them. It impacts our decisions, stress, relationships. It's that emotional intelligence piece, different from pure IQ,
Exactly. And as we've touched on before, this isn't just, well, abstract theory. Building emotional intelligence gives you real advantages.
like better decisions, less impulsive stuff.
Yeah, better decisions, definitely. And better mental health, more resilience when things get tough. Plus, it's foundational for good relationships, that ability to connect and communicate clearly.
Okay, so we know it's important, but the how,
Mm.
that can feel a bit fuzzy sometimes.
It can, yeah.
Which brings us to today's focus, a tool that's surprisingly effective, the simple journal notebook.
Ah, yes, the journal.
And we've actually looked at Listalian journals before in our deep dives, remember? We're revisiting them because, frankly, their design choices really line up with this kind of emotional work.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how this analog tool still holds so much power in our digital age.
Yeah.
And Listallion with that premium 120 GSM paper, the kind where ink doesn't bleed through and distract you.
Yeah, that's crucial.
And just a really smooth surface. It feels good to write on. It kind of elevates the whole process from just scribbling to dedicated reflection.
It creates a better space for it.
Yeah.
So our mission today is understanding how journaling, maybe especially with a notebook designed for it like Listalion, helps build that self-awareness, regulate emotions better, and, yeah, improve relationships.
Because that's what EI helps you do, right?
Yeah.
Navigate life's bumps with more skill, handle conflicts better, understand your own reactions.
And actually get where other people are coming from. Empathy.
Empathy, exactly.
Right.
Even when it's difficult.
And the flip side.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we know what low EI can look like, those quick tempers, maybe constant anxiety.
Poor communication, strained relationships. It's like having the engine, but no steering wheel sometimes.
So how does writing things down actually help bridge that gap? Seems almost too simple.
Well, it gives you that private space, doesn't it? No judgment. You can really look at your feelings, track patterns.
And having a quality notebook, like you said, maybe makes you take it more seriously.
I think so. That Listallion quality, the feel of it, it encourages you to settle in, to go a bit deeper perhaps, makes the environment right for self-inquiry.
Okay, let's get specific then. Pen to paper. How does it boost EI? Our sources point to, what, 3 main areas, starting with self-awareness.
Yeah, self-awareness first. The thing is, writing forces you to actually articulate the feeling. You can't just be vaguely
You
mad.
have to describe it.
Exactly. What did it feel like? What happened right before? How did you react then? Doing that regularly, you start seeing themes. Oh, that situation always gets me.
You spot your triggers.
Precisely. You become much more tuned in to your own internal landscape.
Okay, so you know yourself better. Then comes emotional regulation. Knowing you're frustrated is one thing, managing it is another. How does journaling help there?
It introduces a pause, a really vital pause.
Instead of just reacting.
Right, you write it down, you process it through words. Just externalizing it can take the edge off.
Deflates it a bit.
Yeah, and you create a record. Looking back, you might see, okay, that intense feeling did pass. It builds this sense that you can manage it. You develop more considered responses over time, less impulsive.
That makes sense. The third bit was empathy and social intelligence. This one feels less direct. How does writing about me help me understand you?
It's about reflecting on interactions. When you journal about, say, a difficult conversation,
Yeah.
you're not just dumping your feelings. You naturally start thinking, okay, why did they say that? What might they have been feeling?
Oh, okay. You consider their side.
You're prompted to, yeah. Consistently doing that reflection builds your empathy muscle. You get better at reading social cues, understanding different perspectives. Stronger relationships follow.
Got it. So understanding yourself helps you tune into others better. Now, back to the tools. Listalion, you mentioned the paper, the feel. Our sources really emphasize that these features help this process. It's not just any notebook.
No, definitely not. It's the deliberate design. That 120 GSM paper, the smoothness, it's not just luxury. It makes the act of writing more pleasant, more focused.
Less of a chore.
Exactly. Fewer distractions, thoughts flow better. You're more likely to stick with it if the physical experience is good.
And they have options, right? Different covers, colors. I remember seeing that Airjoie ash gray black soft cover and the Guarano cocoa brown and the harder black faux leather one.
Right, that variety matters. You can pick one that feels yours. It makes it more personal, more inviting for that kind of deep sometimes vulnerable work.
And things like lined pages or numbered pages, like
Yeah.
in Daniel's story we looked at, they provide structure.
Yeah, subtle structure. Lines guide your writing. Numbered pages are great for tracking progress, looking back easily. What was I feeling about this 6 months ago? It helps you see your own journey.
It's that thoughtful design again, making it supportive, not overwhelming. It makes the practice feel more valuable somehow.
Couldn't agree more. And this is where stories, even illustrative ones, really help. Talking concepts is one thing, but seeing how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely. Actually makes me think of a friend of mine. Let's call her Sarah. She went through a super stressful time at work a while back. Big changes, lots of pressure. She was getting really overwhelmed, misreading colleagues, leading to, friction. I suggested she try journaling. I'd found helpful myself during stressful times, though I was just using like a standard spiral notebook back then.
Was she keen?
Skeptical, but kind of desperate. Honestly, if she'd known about something like a Listallion in, with that quality feel that makes you want to write, maybe she'd have started sooner. Anyway, she did eventually start. It took time, consistency. But she told me later she started seeing patterns in her reactions, understanding why certain things set her off. It wasn't, instant magic.
Rare.
But she definitely got more self-aware. Her interactions improved. She even just felt calmer overall. The journaling gave her that processing space.
That's a great example of the space to process, gain perspective. And yeah, the right tool can really encourage that consistency.
Totally. And another one, closer to home, my uncle. Usually a really cheerful guy, but he went through this phase, seemed really irritable, snapping over small things.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, not communicating well with family. My aunt, who's pretty insightful, gently suggested he try writing his thoughts down.
How did he take that?
Initially, resistance. Saw it as, I don't know, not his thing. But after one particularly bad day, he actually did grab a simple notebook and just started venting on paper.
Just getting it out.
Yeah, he admitted later that just the act of writing it down helped him feel less wound up.
Yeah.
I remember thinking if he'd had a more inviting journal, maybe one of those Listallion soft covers, that ash gray black one maybe, it might have felt less like a chore and more like his own space from the get-go.
Make it feel less clinical, perhaps.
Exactly. Anyway, it took a while, but he did get back to his usual self, and communication definitely improved.
These stories really show the practical power of it, don't they? And they echo Daniel's experience from our sources. Remember him, skeptical at first.
Right, but the Listallion journal, the numbered pages, the prompts he used, it helped him connect his stress to his reactions.
And led to healthier communication, better relationships. It really shows how the tool and the practice work together.
Creating that dedicated space, supported by a quality tool, it makes a difference. Now, our sources also give some practical tips for how to journal for EI. Doesn't have to be complicated, right?
Not at all. The main thing is just starting. Be consistent, even if it's short.
Like 5 minutes a day?
Even that.
Yeah.
Just focus on what am I feeling? What might have triggered it? How did I react? Reflecting on that regularly builds insight over time. Insight into your values, beliefs, patterns.
So bringing it all together then,
Yeah.
it seems clear. A journal, especially a well-designed one like a Listallion, is way more than just paper.
It's a tool, a tangible tool for building emotional intelligence.
Enhancing self-awareness, building resilience, fostering better connections.
Exactly. It's a practical, accessible step anyone can take towards, well, growth and well-being. That consistent turning inward, it can be really powerful.
So here's a final thought for you listening. Think about one emotion that consistently challenges you. Maybe it's irritation or anxiety, or perhaps a feeling of being stuck. How might taking just 5 minutes each day in a dedicated space like a journal to write about that specific emotion, how might that change your understanding of it and maybe even how you respond to it next time?
It's really an invitation, isn't it, to explore your own inner world and to consider how this simple practice, maybe enhanced by a tool you enjoy using, could support your journey to greater self-awareness and ultimately emotional intelligence.